Global equities witnessed their first bout of selling in the calendar year 2022 yesterday after minutes of the US Federal Reserve's last policy meeting pointed at earlier and faster rate hikes, uncovering a more hawkish Fed than some may have expected. That apart, over 90,000 fresh cases of COVID-19 back home also soured the sentiment on the Lal Street. The frontline S&P BSE Sensex declined over 900 points intraday but eventually settled 621 points lower at 59,602. The NSE Nifty, on the other hand, ended at 17,746, down 179 points. Markets had been on an upswing during the past 4 sessions after consolidating during the last few months of calendar year 2021. However, analysts expect volatility to return to the street next week as India Inc. kicks off Q3 earnings season. As many as 45 companies set to report their December quarter results in the coming week, including Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Mindtree, HCL Tech and HDFC Bank. According to Devanshu Datta, an independent market expert, the October to December period will be a transitionary phase for the global economy, including India, as inflation is at multi-year high, commodity prices are up, the US economy is apparently growing at a rapid pace, base effect is ebbing in India, and China is cutting down on high carbon industries.
Given all these factors, you would expect the dollar to move slightly higher, and higher US activity should be good for the IT industry, for example. In areas like energy, it is likely that crude oil will go into surplus in Q4, that's January, February. And as a result, you should see refining margins going up. This is good for India in general. The metal space is interesting because you had a sharp correction through November, December, as demand fell in China due to its cutting back on high carbon emission industries. However, production of metals also dropped in China, and now you're getting a lot of people saying that you could have a surplus of demand over supply, which means that metal prices may remain fairly high. I'm not sure how this will reflect in Q3, but if it's true, it should be pretty good for the Indian metal sector, the iron and steel guys, as well as the non-ferrous aluminium, copper, zinc producers going forward. Those are a couple of areas I'd look at. The other thing I would like to take a hard look at is expansion in bank credit. If you have genuine economic activity, genuine growth in economic activity, that should show up in higher bank credit demand.
For Sandeep Sabharwal, founder of AskSandeepSabharwal.com, high input costs may lead to a miss on earnings expectations.
I think expectations of earnings are pretty high at this point of time, but there also has been significant inflation in terms of input cost pressures. So key will be to monitor how companies are able to manage those. So I would think that currently earning expectations are for around a 25-30% kind of growth, which will be tough to achieve.
Sectorally, Sabharwal expects capital goods, IT and telecom to perform well during the quarter.
I think many of the capital good and infrastructure companies could do well because there the expectations are low. Technology company results are expected to be good because some of the overseas listed technology companies who are operating in a similar space have given good results. But that's something which is already factored in by the markets more or less. Consumer companies we have to watch because their input cost pressures have been high, so how those companies have been able to cope up because earning expectations are very high there. Telecom earnings should be good, so I think that's where they could see some positive surprises. Automobile expectations are very low, so it's possible that we could see some positive surprises by some companies out there.
That said, while these factors are already priced in, there are certain headwinds that may negatively surprise the markets and lead to earnings downgrade post Q3 earnings.
In general, people expected festival demand to be good, but a lot of companies are indicating that because of higher prices, the demand suddenly moderated in the last 2 months of 2021. So I think those are the things we have to monitor, because some of the companies where people are expecting growth should be high, you might actually see that the growth does not match up to expectations. Yeah, I think probability is very high that on an overall basis we get earnings downgrades this time. Across many sectors except maybe infrastructure, capital goods or automobiles, etc., where as it is expectations are low, so if those companies do better, then that might not happen. But I think consumer good, technology, and most other spaces, like even financials, is something which will be interesting to see, because their expectations are not as high as they used to be. So that if some companies out there surprise positively, then those stocks will do better.
Overall, the December quarter earnings may turn out to be a muted show as India Inc. battles with faltering consumption, uneven economic recovery, rising input costs, and subdued credit growth. Given this, management commentaries on growth outlook rather than reported figures this quarter will be keenly tracked by market participants. As regards today, investors should expect a range-bound movement amid lack of domestic and global triggers.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.